blurs that way. I guess because the focus is focusing in on Kitty. And it kind of blurs on the zoom in. Did it the other day. I may need to clean one of the lenses. That's fine there. That goes into the other one. It shouldn't be blurry like that. There's at 1. Here's 0.5. There's 1, and then it gets kind of blurry. I'll try cleaning it right here. See if that helps. Sometimes you have to stop it. There it goes, yeah. Stop it and start it, and it goes clear. You little kitty, yes you bird. Let me see the thing. Yes you bird. Just a yes you are. Just a purry. A purry kitty. It's 21st. The 21st. Still get my show up. I'm having this problem with the show because mine are in 6 or 7 parts, sometimes 8 parts. I think today it goes, I went ahead and started using letters as well as numbers. So it's PSS 1649A and then just whatever the title is, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And the problem I'm having is the one that's labeled the PS, the starter, the 1649A, is always laggy. It's always lagging to go up. I use Spectrum, which is slower internet, but it's always lagging. That first show takes forever. And it's about as long as another 35-minute show that I posted that has the letter on it. So we're going to find out what's going on. We'll get to the bottom of this. Did you know you're in this play, Edmund? Just want to let you know. Right through the shark tunnel. Very good, kitty. Here, out of the kitchen. Here, come on. Let's go, come on. Hey. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. All right, 175,101 miles on the speedometer. We're looking at 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Nope, jump down to 82. 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Got a little cooler, boys. Now we're looking at April 21, 2023. And you guessed it, I'm Cole Spivey, the Please Subscribe Show. Welcome to the Please Subscribe Show. That means you're subscribing. Push the button. Very good. That's the payment for the show. Nothing in life is for free. You have to subscribe. Now, I am going to show you a bridge. I'm going to show you traffic at about 3:44 p.m. probably. And then I'm going to talk about Alec Baldwin. So just give me a moment. NYU graduate. I was the new school alumni, but I didn't graduate from the new school. I went to the Actor Studio Drama School for 1 year. Alec Baldwin went to Tisch, NYU, pretty much a graduate. All right, here we're going to look at traffic. This is at 3:43 p.m. going on 3:44. Look at that.
Still at 3:43. All right, now we talk about Alec Baldwin. So first, let's get Alec Baldwin. Okay, Alec Baldwin, American actor, born in 1958, a boomer. I consider boomer. I'll have to look at the generation thing later. Late boomer, very late boomer. NYU Tisch graduate. He went to Tisch to study acting. I'll still have to double fact check that. He also does announcements on our classical channel 101.1. And I was introduced to Alec Baldwin at Texas Wesleyan, not in person, but through film and media. A lady that was directing. She was a Haltom school teacher from. Well, she went to Wesleyan and then she graduated and became a Haltom drama teacher. But at the time, she was studying drama. And we decided to do a scene from Prelude to a Kiss, and so she showed the movie to an actress named Amber who went out to Chicago way long time ago. She also did work in New York, Amber Kelly. And we did Prelude to a Kiss. And that was the first time I saw Alec Baldwin and was introduced to, his romantic charm and all that stuff. And we had to kind of like watch it. And I remember one thing that she told us to do is we looked at one another in our clothing, and then we looked away and we had to try to describe what we were wearing. It was like an acting exercise when we were doing the scene for Prelude to a Kiss. Everyone loved it. It was a romantic scene. The movie's great. That was 1992. No, I'm sorry. That was the year of 1992. Now, going back to 1988, Alec Baldwin was in Beetlejuice, and in 1988, he was in another movie that was very, very good. 1988 was a good year for Alec Baldwin. Definitely see Beetlejuice. Now, if we go into 2006, he's going to do a little movie called The Departed. Now, somewhere in the mix, before he does The Departed, because that one won Best Picture for Martin Scorsese, somewhere in the mix, he does a film in 1996, I believe, which is known as Glengarry Glen Ross. Now we're always doing it, right? ABC. Always be closing. In my case, delivery. Now, Alec Baldwin is a voice in the American theater. He also played Stanley Kowalski in Streetcar Named Desire. I also, right here, I played Stanley Kowalski in Streetcar Named Desire and won an Irene Ryan at Texas Wesleyan University. Did not watch Alec Baldwin's performance, but I watched about 3 or 4 scenes of Marlon Brando later on. And then I think when I watched, when I did the movie, I watched maybe 10 minutes of Marlon Brando or something, just to get a taste of the New York kind of accent, not the New York, but the Yat accent that they did in New Orleans for Streetcar. And I won an award for that. And then I moved on as in acting and later ended up at the actor studio way later, like almost 10 years later. It was like 7 or 8 years later I'd end up at the actor studio drama school. Never met Alec Baldwin, but I know that he had a problem one time with a paparazzi and almost broke his arm and got in trouble for that. And then he also yelled at some of his kids through an answering machine. Now I'm going to talk about something else. So, not Marlon Brando, I'm sorry, Alec Baldwin. Marlon Brando went to the performance of Alec Baldwin's Stanley Kowalski in Streetcar Named Desire. He went to his performance and liked it. He said that Alec Baldwin brought in the comedy, because Alec Baldwin's also a comedian. We know him from one of the funniest skits on Saturday Night Live, known as Sweaty Balls, which won the #1 comic funniest Saturday Night Live skit of all times. He even beat Will Ferrell's James Lipton, which was the Nightmare one. Now, regardless, Alec Baldwin is an American voice. He's an American voice in the American theater, but he's also an American voice on radio. He's an American voice that we hear and we're like, wait a minute, that's Alec Baldwin. Yes, of course, that's Alec Baldwin. So he has a voice. And I want to cast Alec Baldwin in a movie called Escape from Maine as the ghostly father figure, which I'm still writing today. Probably not going to write a scene today because I'm focusing on delivery. I'm trying to get something to eat. And then we'll talk about Escape from Maine probably tomorrow, because I'm on page like 74 or something like that, and I'm working on the script, not daily, but in my mind, I let it stew. I get a note card and I work on it more. And I probably need to throw in a few ghostly father figure scenes. Mostly the ghostly the ghostly father figure is there to kind of annoy Jonah's character. Now, I'm Cole Spivey, but Jonah is what the protagonist is in Escape from Maine. He's the protagonist. So Alec Baldwin would be playing kind of a smaller role, but he would be appearing as a ghost in the dramedy kind of comedy drama about me escaping Maine. Okay, we got that out of the way. We talked about Alec Baldwin. Now we're going to talk about the media, and we're going to talk about a movie called Rust. So just recently, 2022 or so, Alec Baldwin was on the set of Rust. Now, let's say if a light falls down. We have lighting in theater and in film. There's all kinds of lighting. And I've known an actress where a light has fallen from the ceiling. Her name was Katia, and popped her right on the head and nearly killed her. Now, do we immediately go to the director and go, "Director, you come with me in handcuffs. We're going to interrogate you about this light. We know the light fell because you didn't put that screw in"? Let's talk about another incident with Katia. Katia went to UNT. She's an actress. She went out to, I think, New York for a while. I don't know if she met Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin would remember. Katia was a Spanish actress, big voice. She played Medea. Kind of I would say like a Spanish version of Cate Blanchett. You would know her when you met her. Heavy-chested, beautiful lips, well, not too dark complected, but she played Medea. Now, regardless, Katia also one time was backstage at UNT and picked up a live wire, where you plug in the lights, and it shocked her and knocked her back against the wall. Now, Katia lived. Don't know how. She survived the light. No, I'm sorry. I have to be specific. The light actually hit another director lady. It wasn't Katia. Katia, I don't think, she hasn't been hit by the light yet. The light actually fell on this other director lady that I'm not going to mention her name. She's a bald-eyed chick. She's beautifully and talented and great. She has red hair and these big lips and all this stuff. That's another chick. But still, she got hit and didn't die. Katia tried to plug in this plug and it blew her off her feet, and she landed up against this wall. And did we immediately go and get the technician and go, "You are arrested for killing or trying to kill Katia"? Well, Katia, her name's Katia. Katia did not die, but she did get electrocuted pretty bad. And we didn't go immediately and arrest the technician. Listen, theater, acting, film, high insurance. The insurance guys are like, "What, you're an actor?" Insurance, okay? They get killed because of accidents all the time. Now, I made my point about actors, 2 women. A cinematographer was filming Alec Baldwin, and somehow a real bullet got into a real gun, because they use real guns on set, and he pulled the trigger and killed the cinematographer to what we know, and he injured the director. Okay, it was an accidental killing, and all charges were dropped because accidents do happen in theater and film. I can give you hundreds of examples. Here's an example of what happened to me. I was playing a character called Paniculus the Sponge in Menechme, and my director told me to act like a spider monkey. So I jumped out in the hall from this like reading room kind of thing and hit the trussway of this hallway and knocked it in my head, fell completely down, and nearly killed myself. I had to be watched overnight. One of my ex-girlfriends had to watch me overnight to make sure I didn't die in my sleep, okay? It can happen. It hit me like right here. People can get hurt because of accidents. A bullet can be put into a real gun. It has to be checked. They have rules and regulations. Armory didn't do it correctly. He pulled the trigger and accidentally took the life away of the cinematographer, who looked like a beautiful woman. And this was a horrible accident. But the joy in the aspect of it is the law didn't go and kill Alec Baldwin in a way, I guess you could say. The law did not go after him and lock him up for life or whatever it is they do, for what they could. And I was afraid New York was going to come after him. He lost some money for it, but the charges were dropped. So I just wanted to kind of bring awareness, the humanity of Alec Baldwin. I don't know what else he was supposed to do but do what the director said, and the bullet was there, and it was live, and now someone's dead. And I don't agree with how the law did to him and tortured him, and no telling, I was thinking that he might even, end it all. I was thinking that this was a bad thing. I was scared for him. Anyway, he's part of the actor studio. He's one of the lead guys. Anyway, hey, Alec, I'll try to finish up the script, and if it gets in your lap, then it gets in your lap, and then we can go through it that way, and if you like it, then whatever. But I'm glad that you're free, and that the important things are the small things in life. And God bless and Godspeed. Oh, another thing, 1988 with Alec Baldwin. He did a lot of films. Married to the Mob. He did another one called Talk Radio. Like, he did several films in 1988, or they were released in 1988. It's probably 1987 was his most busy year as an actor. That's why it stumped me, because there was like 5 films released in 1988 or something with Alec Baldwin's name on it. That was 1988 when we were watching Beetlejuice and Married to the Mob, and several of them. There was, of course, there's another one too. I gotta look at another film up too. Yeah, there's another one too. She's having a baby. Alec Baldwin was in that. And Talk Radio, which was good. It's your show, Bear. Yeah, she's having a baby. It was with Kevin Bacon. Huh. Anyway. Just to get it straight, we did the Prelude to a Kiss scene at Texas Wesley in 1993. I think it was like the first, yeah, it was like one of the first projects I did, other than Sam Shepard's Action, which I did as a stepping out project. But the movie came out in 1992, Prelude to a Kiss. I just wanted to get that fact check kind of thing. All right, just like a touch of Coke Zero. It's actually pronounced Coke Zero. And then I'm gonna get some gasoline. Jumped down there pretty quick. these are the dolmas. So it goes this dolma. This is artichoke hearts right here, and I got copyright music like crazy coming in here. I'm going to show you the app results.
Please take your...
Yeah, when I have that much copyright coming through, you know, infringement like music, I have to shut everything down. Whoops, almost tripped on something. Tripped on air almost. I have to shut everything down and just kind of tell you about it. I can walk into an area, I'm sure Disneyland is crazy, or Disney World. Walt Disney World is crazy with music. You never know what's copyright and infringement. When it comes to music, you just gotta turn everything off. It's too much editing. I've tried doing it. I think Linda and I went to a roller rink. It was the biggest nightmare in my life. I had to go through and put all this artificial music that I found, or all this music that I found that was already approved on YouTube. It was a nightmare. So I got in the habit of just turning everything off and then just talking about it in a safe area where there's not music. I mean, literally, it's that way. If it's copyright music, it's just gonna ruin the thing. You have to turn everything off, or you're gonna go through and take the sound out, and it's gonna be weird and funky. So I'll talk about the salad in just a minute. All right, I found a quiet, safe place, so we'll talk about the salad. All right, so here's my Whole Foods salad. There's my Whole Foods bag. So this is what's in my Whole Foods bag, or what is in my Whole Foods market bag, or there's too much copyright here too. All right, so we're a little bit further away from the Bose speakers. They should have a limit on where they can always play music, but this is what's in my Whole Foods bag part 2. And I got my fork here, and I got away from the copyright infringement. Here is this right here. And we're gonna talk about what's in my Whole Foods bag. All right, so first we gotta open it, which is a little trick you do right here. There we go. All right, so we got a fork right here. All right, so these are the celery, and we've got broccoli. This is, I think it's whole berry. It's a berry wheat, some type of berry wheat. This right here is orange chicken, like an orange chicken. And then we've got these potato things. These are purple onions, grapes, and on a bed of spinach. And I put a lot of purple onions on there. That right there is the little potato wedge thing. And some olives and more of the orange chicken. So I'm trying to do this because I'm trying to stay accountable for, you know, my health. And I can't tell if you can hear Coldplay or not. Copyright music's a problem. So, because we don't own it. We don't own that music. We have to pay for it. So, if it's something you have to pay for, like music, you just have to get away from it. I can kind of hear it, so. You know, just funny thing. All around here, they have Bose speakers. Over at Kava, Whole Foods, this is Payway. I got them back there in the alleyway. I don't think it's loud enough here. I'm right by the road. It was basically Brian Irving. Another potato wedge thing. Spinach. There's a story about spinach in my life. I was born with pneumonia, and I was dying. My grandma, my great grandma Margaret Mitchell, Nanny Wawa, fed me spinach, and this has a component in it that builds muscle. So I beat the pneumonia and survived. It's a true story. She fed me a bunch of spinach and kept me alive. Later on, when I'd be a teenager and grow up to be almost a man, I would mow her lawn for $20, and she would give me a $20 bill. I secretly to this day think that she was the real Margaret Mitchell that wrote the one and only Gone with the Wind. I think she faked her death and moved to Haltom, Texas, and restarted her life. She also worked for a soil conservation company, and she had a typewriter. True story. She chain smoked and watched soap operas all day and ate bonbons. We called her Nanny Wawa. Why else do I write so much? Her real name was Margaret Mitchell. She's married to a man, I never met him. Actually, she was always by herself. She went to Hawaii one time. She was a really old lady. She bought me this little miniature shrunken head that had red eyes. She goes, "You get those red eyes." She'd call me Red Eyes. That's what she called her husband in her original place before she died. She called her husband Red. Look it up on Margaret Mitchell. She was right next to her lesbian gay lover. Another lady was right next to her when she was hit by the car. They buried the lesbian lover, and she moved away from Hollywood and moved to Haltom, Texas. Her name was Margaret Mitchell. That was my great grandma. Margaret Mitchell, also the writer of Gone with the Wind. She had a horrible thing with pornography. She would get all these nudie books and look at them all day. She was a writer, and she had a horrible thing with it was a horrible thing. She was obsessed with the Apache tribe. My grandfather, who was married to Ann Mitchell, known as Ann Looney, was from the Apache tribe. She went to an Apache event in her hometown. It was like a women's event with all these Apache Indians and stuff. She was obsessed with the Apache Indians. True story. Look it up. Margaret Mitchell, the writer of Gone with the Wind. She went to an event shortly before her death that had to do with the Apache Indian. Then later her daughter, Ann Mitchell, would marry an Apache. My grandfather, Papa Joe.